Hi guys, it's Melanie from She's Stitchin'. As promised, the next technique I want to show you is how I surface crochet. This was the first square from our cowl, and I just kind of labeled it as V-stitch. Probably not the best color choice because it doesn't stand out that much, but I like the way it turned out. These Easter eggs are going to spell out Happy Easter, and that's what I'm working on today with all of you. So I'll be spelling out the rest of these over the day. And then this was the first time I ever surface crocheted. This was a Christmas stocking I made for my whole family. And then by the time I got to my son, I didn't know how to tapestry crochet anything else that was Christmassy, because I had done a Christmas tree and a snowflake and some other things. So I wanted to do the snowman, so I tapestried in the buttons, the scarf, and the hat, and the eyes, and then I wanted to try and do the outline of the snowman in embroidery. And when I did that, I wasn't really happy with the result. I tried and tried, and somebody finally recommended that I try surface crochet. I didn't like these gaps that we get with the embroidery, and it's just so thin compared to the actual yarn, especially because this is super chunky. This is the Lion brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick, so it is a very thick yarn, so it wasn't really working with the embroidery. So once I went and did the surface crochet, I was much happier with the results, and you know, you can see the curves are a lot better. This is the first time I did it though, so it's still a little bit rough. Just wanted to, while I'm here, show you some other things. This is for another crochet along I'm doing. You can see I wrote the name of the stitch there, so it works in regular print. And this one I did in crochet, or in cursive. It's called Lemon Peel. I was really happy with the result on that. So I think that surface crochet would be great for decorating your amigurumis, your stuffed animals, or if you're doing a baby blanket for someone, you can write their name on if you know the name of the new baby that's coming, or for a wedding present, if you know perhaps their last name, if they're you can crochet that onto a blanket with a surface crochet. It also works really cool with the gingham or plaid. You can do straight rows to just kind of add another level of plaid. So let's go ahead and get started. I always like to go down a hook size from what I used to make the object. So if you have something that you're wanting to work on, I recommend it going down a hook size, but it does still work if you use the same hook size. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm just going to start with a slip stitch on my hook. I'm going to choose the blue. These are all sugar and cream colors that I have. These Easter eggs are a great project to use up. It's for scrap bright happy colors that you have, so I'm using all my sugar and cream leftovers. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you have the right side of your project coming forward. So we'll go with this to be the front. Just whatever side you think is better, you know. I'll make this the front, and then I'm going to make an S here. So I'm going to want to start here and then go around through the middle and down. So I'm gonna put my hook here so that I know. So I always start coming on the back, and I go through a loop of thread that's not gonna come through in order to tie off my end. And then I just do a slip stitch on. And then come around to the other side, so you can take your hook out. So we wanted it to start here. So I'm going to put my hook through and then go ahead on back and just pull the loop through. And I'm going to leave the yarn on the other side, so there we can see it start to poke through. Now the next place I want to go, I'm just going to insert my hook and grab the yarn from the back and pull it back through. And then as you do this, you're going to start to see how you want it to lay out. I'm doing the S, so I'm going to just do that again. So I put my hook through and grab the yarn from the back and then bring it on through. So you can do this in any direction. You do want to pull a little bit of slack. So basically you're doing slip stitches, but you know, they look like chains. So you just reach through the back, pull it through. Like so. So you can see now I'm starting to get the top of that S. So I'm going to go in one more time here, pull it through, like that. And if you're unhappy with the placement that you've chosen, you can just go ahead and pull it out like you would a normal crochet. So let me do that stitch again. And now I'm going to bring it down. Now I'm going to bring it down to go through the middle. Like so. I pulled it too hard. I'll go through the middle there. Reach behind. Pull through my yarn. Okay, I think you should have the concept down by now, so I'm going to finish this off and then come back and show you how I tie off the edges. So you can see here I've finished off my S, and what I'm going to want to do to tie this off is I'm going to pull through. I'd want it to end in that last stitch, so go ahead and put it through the last stitch you want it to end in. Yarn over, yarn over and pull it through. Like that. And then what I do is I just pull a lot of slack into that. Here, Coda. And then I put my hook back through the other side. And then I tighten it back up and pull it through. And that way we're just going to hide the knots in the back of the work. And then what I'm going to do is I'll cut this here. I don't have scissors with me, unfortunately. Cut this here, pull it through, and then we're just going to go ahead and wind in our edges. And that is basically it. If you have any questions, please ask me down below. And if you want to, check out my other squares to learn some fun stitches. Thank you.